The archaeological dig is happening in the backyard of a building now owned by the Epiphany School. In the 1800s, it housed the industrial school for girls, where poor parents sent their daughters to be trained as domestic servants. Joe Bagley is the archaeologist for the city of Boston. He says it's the best site he's ever worked on.
We have one gender, we have one age group, and we have one time period represented. So we're only looking at girls between ages around 10 to 15 and right about 1859 to 1900. And so most sites we have a lot of different things happening, especially in Boston where we have lots of sites on top of each other. On this site we just have one site, so pretty much every artifact we find we know exactly who to associate it with, which means we can get a lot more information out of every artifact that we find on this site.
The natural instinct might be to steer clear of an old outhouse, or privy as they called it back in the day. But that's exactly what Bagley and his team were looking for.
We want outhouses because they have all the archaeological data that we're looking for. The trash goes into the outhouse, and that's what we want as archaeologists, is the garbage.
So far, they've unearthed thousands of artifacts from inside the outhouse foundation. Doll parts, the base of a statue, a toothbrush carved from bone, and a pipe stem.
So maybe one of the girls was sneaking a tobacco pipe, it broke and they tried to hide it in the privy, or just, the matron was coming and she tossed it quickly in the outhouse. But this is a clay tobacco pipe from the 19th century that would have been used probably by one of the people in the house. Definitely not the matron. She would have been the picture of Victorian morality, so there's no way she was smoking, so it's probably one of the girls sneaking it into the house.
The team is made up of volunteers, archaeology students, and members of the Community Dream Team, a city jobs program. 21-year-old Kayvon Castro is part of it.
I love to be the guy that's finding everything, and it brings joy to my heart just to be like, I'm that guy discovering Indiana Jones.
Oh, sweet.
Flowers.
It's a little doll dish.
Oh, wow.
My friends that I've grown up with, it's pretty funny. It's like, hey, what you doing for this summer? Oh, I'm a camp counselor. And I'm like, hey, I'm an archaeologist. And they're just like, wow, you digging? And I'm like, yeah.
Once the artifacts have been dug up and cleaned, they'll be cataloged, so archaeologists can tell the story of the girls who were here.
We could find a site related to the founding fathers, which would be really interesting, but we have a lot of information about those people. On this site, we have basically these unknown, forgotten women in history that are just missing in the historic record, and we have deeply personal items that these girls would have had that would have been shaping their formative years in their life. It's a really important site.